It's our other big story at 6, a landmark ruling by the Wisconsin Supreme Court and a big victory for Governor Scott Walker. Today, the court ruled Act 10 is constitutional. The legislation strips collective bargaining rights from public employees. NBC 26's Deanna Corinthios is live in the newsroom tonight with more on that story.
Stacey, the 5-2 vote in favor of Act 10 is a major blow to unions across the state. And while Act 10 will likely not come up in court again, union leaders say the fight is not quite over.
My heart sank.
An early morning decision by the Wisconsin Supreme Court is a blow to Lori Cathy, president of the Green Bay Education Association. The union represents 80% of teachers in Green Bay schools. Since 2011, when the governor signed Act 10, the union has only been able to negotiate their base pay.
Our contract went from 110 pages to 2 pages.
Class size, student discipline, teacher dress code, and more cannot be legally worked into a contract. She says what's done is done when it comes to Act 10, but the court's decision is sparking a fire among some members to get Governor Walker out of office.
I think it'll activate members around the election in November.
Governor Walker hoping the court's decision is final.
I think this is an affirmation that what we did is legal, that it's constitutional, and I hope it's one of those that's kind of a move-on point. People realize that that can no longer be challenged, at least in the state court.
Unless the Supreme Court justices change, Act 10 is likely here to stay. And this is not the first time a higher court has upheld Act 10. The U.S. 7th Circuit Court of Appeals upheld Act 10 in its entirety in 2 challenges in federal court. Live in the Green Bay newsroom, Deandra Corinthios, NBC 26.
Governor Walker's likely opponent in November, Mary Burke, reacted to the news, saying she disagrees with the court's decision.
The Supreme Court has decided that. I respect that, but I also want to make sure that we are moving ahead and we look at how we are going to have a public sector that is efficient and accountable, and I will certainly work to restore collective bargaining, but I'm going to have to do that with our legislature.